Good evening, everyone. Welcome to On Deck. I'm Russ Morgan here with Rob Mosley. Rob, how we doing? We got 2 weeks of baseball almost in the books. How you feeling?
Can't complain, man. I can't complain. It's fun to have the great national pastime back current, live, watching games all the time. The NFL, MLB extra innings package is great. Lots of fun. Get to watch my team like it's the local team. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Great to have baseball back in the air.
Always great to have baseball back in the air. I definitely 100% agree with that. Yeah, we're getting bombarded with our Gunnar Henderson talk here, guys. We'll get to the
I
Orioles.
know. See, I put that on just for him. He asked, I delivered. So,
We'll get to the
there you
Orioles
go.
later. Okay, we'll kick it off with my team, who's looking solid. They got the 4 game sweep against the Astros, which is always nice to sweep the Astros. Soto started off scorching hot, which is unbelievable to see. You know, he was batting what 545 at one point there. He's cooled down, which it's bound to happen. Volpe's looking good, which is good because for me, Volpe, his glove was always there. It was his bat. You can't have a guy batting 207, especially at the shortstop position. You got to have a little. You might subtract a little hitting if you're a catcher, like you saw with the Astros with like with Maldonado, but he's starting to swing it. The one is I'm excited. Oswaldo Cabrera, who was probably not going to make the team. He's batting 346. He had a massive week against the Astros. Was the 26th man on the roster. Only reason he made it is because DJ LeMahieu's down. Took 2 out of 3 from the D-backs. Lost today. One positive is Stroman he went 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs. So, I mean, for me, the starting pitcher has looked serviceable, and the bullpen is getting the job done, which I guess that's all you can ask for, especially when your frontline ace is down. They're saying probably till June. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I know. As much as it pains me to say your Yankees have gotten off to a good start, happily though, my Red Sox aren't too far behind, and in fact, if they can win tonight, they will actually be tied with you. And I don't have my high expectations for the Red Sox, but I'm hoping that negativity turns like works and they end up having a surprise season. But yeah, your Yankees are. I mean, what are you going to say? You're up there, six
Yeah,
and
I
two,
mean, hey, I
playing
back it
well.
up, back it up, bench podcast. Yeah, Loiza getting hurt is going to be big. Just definitely, we had to get rid of Michael King, who was a big piece of that bullpen in the Soto deal, who's a big piece of that Padres. Judge was struggling against the Astros. It was painful to watch, but he looks like he's breaking out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I know he got a
He
homer the
finally,
other
yeah,
day,
got a
and
home run, got a double. So maybe he's getting out of it a little bit. That's all you. Maybe you see bat to ball, you start
yeah.
getting it. It's all about timing.
Well,
Clay
I
Hope,
know Verdugo, former Red Sox, he hit a home run for you guys, but we're happy so far with the return too. The Wiser, yeah, he's actually pitched well for the Red Sox out of the bullpen, so it looks like it might be a trade that can benefit both teams this year. So we will see on that.
Clay Holmes is looking, has a 0 ERA. That was a couple years past was a big one of the top closers, and then kind of struggled. So him getting back, he couldn't find the zone for a little bit. Hopefully he can get back, but early days, so you can't get too excited. But it's nice to
I
see.
know for sure.
It's
I
nice
just
to
want my
see.
Red Sox to get back east. These 9:40 starts and sometimes 10:10
It's
are
gonna kill you.
killing me, man.
I love. I'm a West Coast guy, so I love some of those West Coast. Waking. Game starts at 6 o'clock. Sunday night football starts at 6 o'clock. You don't have to
Yeah, when you're
stay.
out there, it's all
You're,
great,
yeah,
but when
you're
you're
out here on the east, and it starts at 10 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I want to watch, but the game finishes at 1 o'clock in the morning.
and I'm an early morning guy. I wake up, so it's like brutal, man. It's like
But
you
it's
know,
nice to see. I mean, for me being a Yankees fan, it's really nice to see. I was always sick, sick of the analytics. I know analytics has a place in baseball, but for me, you can't place everything on analytics. And I was sick of seeing Boone always talk about, well, he can hit a home run, he can do this. I'm like, give me guys who can work a count, who can get on base, can get walks. Like Soto, the guy, has such an eye at the plate. I'm like, I'm done with like, hey, man on first, we can make it 2-0 here, but bam, we just ground into a double play. The inning's over. Give me some
Yeah.
guys, Verdugo, Soto, those guys. They work counts, they see pitches, and that's what baseball's all about. So I mean, but it's 2 weeks of a 162 game season. So
All right. So now I would get to my team, and then we won't bore everyone talking about our teams when we get to all the teams. My Red Sox started off okay. They started off in Seattle. They split. Seattle's not a bad team. Some people think they're going to have a decent year. They got some of the best. They probably have the best starting rotation in baseball, or right up there with among the best. But we were able to split. Could have made it 3-4. We lost one of them in extra innings. Then we swept the Oakland A's, which I know is nothing great. And we had a couple close games, including another extra inning game. On top of already starting late, they decided they had to play an extra inning game that night. And then, overall, the Red Sox are doing okay. They're 5-2.
I mean, for everything that I was hearing, and you were a little negative on the Red Sox, which rightfully so, because you're not getting the moves you want. They do have the lowest ERA in MLB right now, 154. So I mean, and some of those Mariners games, they're right there. They're just not pushing any runs across, but the pitching's,
the pitching's done actually
doing solid. So
very, very well. And we got a couple guys. Devers just we haven't had the power, but some of the guys are starting to come alive as far as average. Casas isn't hitting for power, but he's starting to come alive. Trevor Story, the fun so far. Jaron Duran, he's has a lot of stolen bases. He's
Jaron Duran.
Well.
Jaron Duran, Long Beach State alum in Long Beach, California. The Dirtbags, actually, only team on the campus that uses that nickname. Everyone else is like Beach, but they use the Dirtbags, and when they changed it, they stuck with the Dirtbags. I saw him play the COVID year, and they played Mississippi State. I saw him play a couple times, but he's just so fun to watch. He works so fast, flies around. I'm like, this is just a great ball player. But hey, I mean, you're 5-2. You're playing competitive baseball. You can't really complain about that with the lack of off-season moves. So playing competitive baseball, and the rotation's looking solid.
No, they are, man. They are, man. So that is, like I say, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. The whole division's, in our division, has some wins. We're all kind of bunched up. It's not like some of the divisions where a certain team we won't get to yet. Maybe Bobby will come in and we can mention the certain team that hasn't gotten a win yet this year. So that back it up in his podcast, Jeff says the lefty righty matchup is so.
I 100% agree, and I especially for me, I see the you see the lefty righty matchup. You see it in the postseason. Like Dave Roberts did it a lot, and I know a lot of my friends who are big Dodger fans. They hate Dave Roberts. I'm like, he plays the matchups. I'm like, sometimes you got to stick with the hot hand. Yeah, sometimes you got to play the lefty righty. But I'm like, why do you not have this faith in this lefty can go get this righty, or vice versa?
I know, and then sometimes
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, me too. And then sometimes, you think they'd be analytics, and maybe they do look at it, but sometimes the hitter actually does better than what you think against, actually has higher numbers against the one that you wouldn't think. Like the lefty hitter might have better hit numbers for whatever reason against a lefty, or a righty may have, and you never know. So it's just weird sometimes, man. I agree, man. So
I will move off our two teams, Rob. We'll go to the Orioles. I mean, they're 5-2, looking good. Corbin Burns has looked as advertised, pitched 2 games already, 11 2/3 innings. He's got 2.31 ERA with 14 Ks. I mean, it's a long season, but I mean, if you have a frontline guy like Corbin Burns, that's pretty scary, in my opinion.
No, no, that's. I mean, they got an ace. I mean, that was a good move from them. I don't know their farm system, but the guy we have here in the chat today, he says they didn't even give up some of their top
Yeah, they did.
prospects.
I mean, excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold, so
Yeah, hey, I was there a couple weeks ago. I
I had to,
know.
I had to work with kids all last week. So kids are kind of they carry a lot of
Yeah, they
shit.
got the germs. Yep.
Yeah, Grayson Rodriguez, I agree, is a guy I really liked who kind of came on late last year. Struggled, got a little bit put him back down, and then came back and started pitching better. It's a guy I like. But I mean, besides Burns, Rutschman's obviously always gonna be a guy who's batting 333. But my question is for you, Rob.
Yep.
All right, so we got Henderson was struggling a little bit, maybe not struggling, but couldn't find it. He's back up to 269. But we got Jordan Westerberg and Jorge Mateo all batting under 260. When is the Jackson Holiday getting called up?
I don't know, man. That we got the man in the chat has the beat on that team, but I think it has to be sooner than later, unless they
Because
really want the control.
he's already
They,
carried it up in AAA, and
I
I got
know, but after a month, they could bring them up, and then they have the extra control. That's
yeah,
probably
right,
what.
yeah, the good old manipulate the years.
Yeah,
Fun stat. All right, this is a fun stat I saw. The Norfolk Tide, or the Orioles AAA affiliate team, beat the Charlotte Knights 26-11. This team has 6 top 100 prospects. Listen to this stat line. And these first 2 aren't even the best. We had Jackson Holiday 4 for 6 with 5 runs. Number 1 in the Orioles organization. You had
right.
Connor Norby 2 for 5 with a home run and a double and 3 RBIs. Kobe Mayo was 5 for 7 with 2 RBIs. Heston Kjerstad, who is a guy who is probably one of the better. He's number 41, is blocked. He was 5 for 7, 10 RBIs and 2 home runs with a 3-run home run and a grand slam.
Man, that's a good week right there. 5 hit, man. That's pretty dang good.
And then Kyle Stowers had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs, and he's got the Norfolk record for most home runs. These guys can't even find a place to play.
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, I did not see. I don't follow the minors as well. I know you're big on that. So
It's just Heston Kjerstad was a number 2 overall pick, and he's kind of blocked if you throw him in the outfield, and you got Santander there at first. But I mean, all these guys, it's just a glutton of riches for them. You got 1, 6, 7, 14. Yeah, it's just insane. And then you got all these young guys up on your big league club that are getting it done.
Yep. Real quick on his Rodriguez, I just looked it up. He pitched 6.1 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, but struck out 7, walked 2, and he's sporting a 2.19 ERA so far. And actually, I guess it was a pretty good starting matchup because their starter also played well. Both of the starters in the Orioles game today against the Pirates both pitched okay. But yeah, he's right. His guy had a good day today. And that Pirates team swept that team we would talk later if
yeah, I'll get on the Pirates later, which is surprising hot start in the NL Central there. And then at the bottom we got Toronto, who just got the win today and had a nice start from, I can't remember who started for him against my Yankees, but he had a very good start. The lefty from Seattle, who's been in, he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 7 Ks, and they shut out the Yankees today. And then the Rays right there at the bottom, but they'll find a way. The Rays always
the Rays are always, like I say, always find a way to, move up those standings in the American League East. So, I mean, it should be a very competitive division all year. I just hope my Red Sox can hang at least competitively for the first few months, and then maybe have a surprise season. That's my only hope.
And
So,
I mean, we'll move to the Central a little bit. Obviously, it's the White Sox are. Yeah, nobody needs to ever talk about the White Sox right now, but
yeah, I know they got the one win so far, and
they got one win. Yeah, and the Royals sneak got three, but you got surprising Tigers who, I mean, they're 6-1. The guy was a Tanner Scooble's looking really good.
I mean,
He's
I know they're playing against the Mets, who were cold as heck, but it,
he's got
it
12
is
innings
what it is.
pitched,
But hey, they're doing
15,
well though, man.
15
I
Ks.
remember
Yeah, doing well. And then the Indians, who was your pick, looking good, and Shane Bieber, AL Cy Young is looking solid as ever, which was a guy who's got a 0 ERA and 12 innings pitched and 20 Ks. And I mean, that was a guy who's been thrown around in the trade rumors as all summer, all off season. We've been hearing that name. I mean, if they continue this, AL Central's kind of wide open, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think we said both of those Centrals are basically a wide open division this year.
Wide open, which so and you got Stephen Kwan there's been good. I've loved Stephen Kwan being a college baseball guy. He was with Oregon State. So, I mean, guy's just a scrappy ball player.
Yeah.
And
No, I know he doesn't. I know he had that crazy streak for a while where he never struck out hardly or whatever. But he's a contact guy for sure.
I mean, you got the knockout king Jose Ramirez too. So,
oh man, I mean, like I said, that's an overall solid team. And
yeah, I agree with you. Back it up, binge podcast, right? Some Royals gonna have some good arms. Obviously, having a lot of bad years, getting high picks and hitting on high picks is gonna help. Obviously, Bobby Witt, as we both think,
Bobby Whitman, that's one of my underdogs there,
he's
man.
gonna be a guy we're gonna be hearing about. But
if you're into all that advanced stats and stuff, he's up there on exit velocity.
yeah, right.
He's like the leading.
But yeah, I guess Central both agree. Central kind of wide open, and that'll be an interesting division to watch to see who can ever pull that one out. West not looking unbelievable. Texas right up there on top. I haven't really followed much of the Rangers.
You know what? Weird, because they were talking today on the MLB Network. Russo, who made me mad today because he just real quick he's like talking about how bad the Marlins are. Then out of nowhere, he decides to take a shot at the Miami Dolphins too. I'm like, listen, I watch the MLB Network to get away from Miami Dolphins talk and not to hear my team. And then he just tied in the Miami Dolphins woes with the Marlins woes, and I'm like, what do they have to do with one another? But anyway, but he was on a roll today, and he was saying he doesn't like he said we just got to get used to it, but he doesn't like this balanced schedule where because he thinks some of the rivalries are going to go down. That was what he was talking about a little bit. And he was saying like the Astros and the Rangers are going to be done like mid-season. They've already played every time, and they will have nothing down the stretch against each other head to head. So he was saying for old baseball fans, just get used to it. It's the balanced schedule. For every bad thing like that, is you're good. You're going to get and at least he mentioned my baseball team. He goes, you're going to get a Red Sox Cubs that you wouldn't have got if it wasn't a balanced schedule. So there is some good in it, to get a Red Sox Dodgers, a Yankees Dodgers, and all of that kind of stuff that if you want it. But I do kind of agree. I kind of missed like what was it, like 19 games against the Yankees or whatever in your division.
Yeah. I mean, you get Mad Dog, you get Doggy going. He can't stop.
Yeah, I know, but he was just going because he was talking about the Miami market. Oh, they just don't spend. I'm like, the Dolphins for one spin, so don't say that. And then he said, "Oh, the Dolphins have empty seats." I go, years ago they did, but they got a waiting list. But I didn't go. But I'm just enjoying watching, eating lunch, listening to Mad Dog, and then he spews against my Miami Dolphins. I'm like, come on, dude. How do you go into the Marlins to the Dolphins all in one? I know he gets fired up.
You get Mad Dog going, and he can't stop. The guy could talk for days.
Yeah.
But you kind of hit on it. What are the Astros? Is this the end of the Astros?
I don't know, man. I know they struggled against you guys. I'm sorry, I was just bringing up some of the comments there. He likes the balanced schedule, but I don't know. It's so early. Let's see. I mean, they have to eventually come to a, they've just been on a roll for the past few years. So always up there, winning the division, competing for World Series titles. But it's at the end just because, they got swept by the Yankees and haven't looked all that great. But then they go throw a no hitter the day after they
Yeah,
face you guys.
Ronner Blanco throws a no hitter. 30-year
So,
old pitcher who probably wouldn't have made the roster if there wasn't as many injuries. So that's exciting stuff.
so my answer is too soon to tell because it's like
we need some predictions, Rob. Let's go.
Okay, the answer to me is no. They're like the big villain in the movie. You think he's dead, but then he all of a sudden pops out of the water and starts fighting again when you thought the movie was over. Yeah, that's how the Astros are. I think they're gonna end up fighting back and be competitive all year. You know, I just think they end up being a competitive team. They still got a lot of talent on the team. They're off to a slow start, but like you say, it's a long, long season, and we will see if they're finally falling back to the pack.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see him come back to the bottom, but I've had a lot.
I don't think so, but hey, maybe this will be a trend that lasts longer than just the first week or so of the season. We haven't even hit the 10th game of the season yet, so we can't be like writing people off. So we will see.
Surprisingly, hey, this is a surprise. The Angels are actually 4-2, which is like, where's this coming from?
I know, and that's who we're starting. Well, they got 3 of those wins against the Marlins, and Mike Trout went off in that. Mike Trout had a couple bombs. One of the bombs is the longest I've ever seen at that Marlins Park, Lone Depot Park, whatever you want to call it. He hit it. I mean, good. I mean, he would hit it out of the Grand Canyon. That ball went so far.
I mean, this is a little side note. I think the Marlins should just go back to the Florida Marlins.
Exactly. We will get to them when we get to the National League because I have a few things to say on them. But
this is a team that beat my Yankees in 2003.
Oh, I was happy. Believe me, I was rooting for the Marlins to beat your Yankees because you had just come off with stupid Boone of all people killing. I didn't know though Magic was brewing in 2004 for my Red Sox, but at the time in 2003, I was thinking it's another heartbreak, another freaking Bucky Dent, another. I was just like so mad. I was so down, so devastated. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm never going to see the Red Sox or the Dolphins win. Now I've seen the Red Sox win several times, so I'm a little more content. I don't pick on them as quick as I pick on my Dolphins. But with that said, I want them to win. I'm already saying you're cheap bastards. You're not spending money. But, other than that, I don't complain as much because I used to tell my wife, if my team ever wins, you're never going to hear me complain again. And then we won in 2004. And then a couple of years later, she goes, you said you were never going to complain again. And I go, well, now I got the taste, now I got the taste, but it is what it is. It's like, they won in 2004, 2007, 2013, 2008.
I'll still complain, but if my football team, I'm a New York Jets fan, if they ever win a Super Bowl, I'll never shut up. You don't want that because I'll never stop talking about the Jets, which I already.
Someone just hit a grand slam for the Rockies. Ryan McMahon just hit a grand slam for the Rockies. So go up. That's it. Oh, it's a walk-off grand slam.
Ooh.
Walk-off grand slam. They just beat. It's bottom of the 9th grand slam. I have the sound down. Sorry, but so I had to look. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but he just hit a grand slam. So
we'll move to NL. Obviously, it's kind of NL East, kind of a little slow. Obviously, we got 3-2 for the Braves, 2-4 for the Phillies. Washington surprised 2-4. You never. Then the lonely Mets finally got their first win yesterday. And sorry, Bobby, your Marlins are still there languishing at the bottom.
I was hoping Bobby would roll into the room, but he's not here yet. So that was me that tweeted under his name because when I produced this show, it looks like I'm him because I come up as the Fins Talk Sports.
Yeah. You know,
But yeah, I was hoping he would roll into here so I can tease him a little bit. But yeah, it's really dismal down here because I hear a lot. There's not tons of Marlins fans, as you know, but they do. Joe Rose likes talking about them, and he was just saying, "Man, 0-8, it's awful start, man." And it's just and then they lose their another good arm in the
They
road.
lose another Yuri Perez done for the year, which is another nice young arm.
You already have Sandy out for the year. It's just a brutal blow. They're probably going to be sellers at the deadline at this point if there's anyone out there that people want off their
Yeah. But
roster.
I know the Mets fans, passionate fan base. I know. I'm a handful of Mets fans. They're nut jobs. They're mostly New York Jets fans, so they're all kind of psychotic in the head because we are a little psychotic, and they're already losing it after 5 games. Booing everybody. What's his name with Barstool? I don't understand how he's a Mets fan and then he's a Dolphins fan. I don't get the whole.
No, he's not a Dolphins fan, man. He's a Patriots fan.
Which that makes a ton of sense too. But
Yeah, I know that's even less.
he walks around with Miami Dolphins gear all the time. I'm like,
what's his name? The Portnoy guy?
No. The big guy, was it the heavy guy?
Oh, I thought we were talking Dave Portnoy, whatever.
Yeah,
okay, Frank the Tank. He's saying. I thought you were talking about whatever the point. I screw up people's last name.
Portnoy is a Dolphins, is a Patriots, like Red Sox. He's a Boston, all Boston.
Yeah, he's a Boston. That's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, Frank the Tank's the baseball guy, and he's a negative. He's a huge Mets fan, negative guy. But you hear them; they're getting booed in Citi Field left and right.
Well, look at me though. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I have a good excuse. I'm a Dolphins and Red Sox fan, but there was no Marlins when I was young, so I just picked the Red Sox and stuck with them forever. But yeah, I don't know. Those teams were all around when I don't know how. Where's he from? Is he from New York or is he?
I don't know. I guess I really haven't dug that deep into it. I'm just I'm not the type of guy. I was not like I rocked. All these people rock their different hats. I'm like, I'm gonna wear this Cubs hat. I'm like, no, I'm a Yankees fan. I wear a Yankees hat. I don't wear Dodgers or Cubs. Just
no, that's it.
I wear
two teams hats, but that's it. I mean, I've heard the Dolphins and the Red Sox. Oh, and maybe a Florida Gator since my money goes.
Oh yeah, I get you're from Florida. Your son goes there. That's all good.
Yeah. And I do have a minor league cap. Kudos to anyone that happens to know what minor league cap that is.
Is that the Greensboro Grasshoppers?
Yeah, no, hey, you're close. It's Greenville Drive, high A affiliate of my Boston Red Sox.
I don't know what the Grasshoppers are, but there is a Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Yeah, no, I believe you, man. So, but yeah, I'm more of that's. I can't because some people just collect caps and they wear caps and stuff. I roll with my team.
Mets obviously it's a huge passionate fan base, and I was watching Mad Dog. Or was that? No, it wasn't Mad Dog. It was who's the giant? Palmero and Will Clark, and he was talking about that slide, and he's like, "Go back and watch it. How they did it. Like that was a Hoskins slide. That's a clean slide. He didn't go either left or right. He went straight through the bag.
No, that was a clean slide. One we touched on it last week.
This is my thing. I was a middle infielder. Being a middle infielder, you get on the side of the bag and you move quick. You don't just stand there and wait for the ball. You got to be either coming forward or going back. And he kind of waited there. I'm like, you're going to get nailed.
No, I think the new rules of someone else just said a homer. They're doing a live look-in. Sorry, there's the Diamondbacks versus Braves. Some guy just went yard for the Diamondbacks. But anyway, yeah, no, you're right, man. It's just, and I think the newer players or younger players, they're so used to the new rule and being protected that when someone does something like that, they think it's dirty and it's bad.
I played second my whole career, and it's just like if you're going for a double play, you're on the back side of the bag, or you're moving to the front side to move forward to create momentum. And McNeil kind of just stood there. I'm like, you're bound to get hit. Someone's going to come in, spikes up.
Yeah.
And Hoskins went straight through the bag, and I agree with Will Clark on that. I'm like, that's Go watch Pete Rose, bullying
No,
someone
Pete
over,
Rose would kick you out in an All-Star game, as
and
we all know.
bullying you over in an All-Star game doesn't even matter. So, or
Yeah, I know.
Willie Randolph almost ended up in left field out there getting nailed.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
for sure, man. For
yeah, I
sure.
mean, the Mets will always be negative, and we'll see what they do.
Oh,
Obviously,
of
they had
course.
a
I
nice.
mean, but I mean, Boston to all the big market baseball teams. If the Yankees, if you guys had been 2-5 instead of 5-2, your Yankee fans would have been going crazy too.
Oh,
So
Yankees fan, yeah, there have been. I think there's a little more. I think you got unfortunately with the Yankees being so good for such a long time that you'll probably get a little more front runners.
yeah,
People are like, I'm gonna be a Yankees fan. I'm like, no, well, yeah, I mean, like, the team, not just because they're great. I mean, I think Mets fans, you'll probably get more passionate because they're suffering, they're losing. One of my dad's good buddies. He plays music with. He knows the inning. He knows the outs. He knows the count. He knows everything. He's on top of it. It's just these guys they know everything. So it's passionate, and I'm all about it.
yeah. No, no, it's great, man. It's good stuff to be passionate. It brings, that's why I say I don't mind guys even looking at their home run or a pitcher pumping his coming off the mound after the third out, after striking out, getting out of a jam. If they want to show some emotion, I mean, I think it's great. Like that Cubs, I know we haven't touched on it. We're going to get there soon, but the guy they picked up from Japan, man, he was all fired up coming off when he got out of a jam. It's fun, man. It's like it brings a little life into the game of baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sucks when it's like your team giving up the homer and you got to have a guy watching it fly out. But it's I don't mind if Devers sits there and admires his home run shot. And I think to me it's just kind of fun. So it just
but
adds to the game.
it's a little surprising that we'll move to NL Central, which we both think is going to be wide open. Pirates are 6-2.
I know they started off hot last year, so I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, the one fun fact the Pirates had Jared Jones. He's from La Mirada, I don't know if he's from La Mirada. He went to La Mirada High School in La Mirada, California. Got his first start. Went 5 2/3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs with 10 Ks. So I saw this kid as a junior and going into a senior year. He was kind of a hot dog, but they kind of, I think that's all those kids nowadays are a little. But his stuff was amazing.
No, I agree. But so what's your take on guys? Because I know you're old school, and I used to not like the guys watching, but I am bat flips. But I've kind of
It's just whatever now.
I kind of come around. I used to not like the bat flips and I used to be like tell my boys, oh, they should just act like they've done it. But now, I mean, I just think it's part of the game. It's part of the personality, and you want these guys to show their. So I've come around to where it's okay, and I actually laugh at some of the bat flip because some of the bat.
Time and place, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to act like you be there. I get it. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's guys. Which I mean, you're down there in Miami, and you'll probably see it more. Latin American baseball, going to a game is probably more fun than an MLB game because these people are having a great time.
Oh no, man. I went to one of the World Baseball Classic, but the one I went to wasn't as dramatic because I went to the final against the United States and Japan, so it wasn't the Latin American Cup. But man, when you were watching them on TV during that, man, they were really going crazy. Those fans, it was like a big party thing in there. So I was there at the game when Otani struck. I was so rooting for Trout to hit one there, boy, but Otani got the best of him, and it's just.
Otani got the best of them. Pirates 6-2. I don't really. Brian Reynolds looking good. I'm just waiting for Paul Skeens to get called up, and I guess if they're.
It's going to be that month thing, young man. They love.
If they're playing this well, why not keep them down? I guess, and just keep on getting them seasoning. But
How's he done in the minors? I know you follow minor stats. Has he?
I don't follow. He's doing good. I think he's only pitched once. I don't follow as much as I'll look up some stuff, see a little highlights. I'll follow the guys. Skeens, I knew in high school. I followed, scouting in high school, so I kind of got a vested interest in that, and I met him in high school, so I like liked him as a person, so I'm like, I want to see him succeed. And knowing
Yeah.
his backstory, I'm like, hey, this is a stand-up guy, would be good for baseball. And obviously, being a college baseball fan and watching him in that World Series, I'm like,
I know.
how is this 6'6"? I don't know how much he weighs. This guy's thighs are massive. I want to see him in the game. But I mean, another one, young guy Jackson Chirino with the Brewers is playing good, and obviously, we both wide open. But uh, Brewers have guys they could ship. I mean, I guess you wouldn't do that if you're later in the season can get into playoffs, which we now have 3 wild card teams.
Right.
I mean, you got Freddie Peralta, Willie Adames, who was here with the Rays for a while.
Oh, and I thought the Brewers may have a little fallback because, they kind of moved on from their people over the past couple of years, including to Mr. Oriole fan there. They sent off Burns. They had gotten rid of Josh Hader already before that. They couldn't keep their manager. So, but they're so far, like I say, it's early in the season, but they played
Very,
like,
very early in baseball. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
yeah, exactly. But for right now, yeah, they're playing that whole division's right there. It's a tight division too, man. And all the way down to the Cardinals, who I picked to win, but they're all, they're only a game and they're 4-4. So over the
And we got,
weekend, that could
we'll
all.
move to the West. Obviously, Dodgers just cruising and looking like mid-season form, getting good starts. From Glasnow was looking like a frontline guy once again. Bobby Miller's looking solid. Ohtani hit his first home run the other day. Which, did you see that the Dodgers forced the girl to give it back who caught the home run ball?
Oh, wow.
And she didn't even meet Ohtani.
Wow. Did you get anything back from it at least?
She just got some Dodger stuff.
Okay.
She was like, this is a 6-figure home run ball I can sell. Which, I mean, I understand he wants it back, but
I know, but I believe they should get them, but at least come up with something good, man. I would get like a couple autographs,
yeah, like meet him through the new interpreter he's got.
Yeah, no, I know, I agree. That would have been cool, but yeah, I know, I saw him.
Well, yeah, obviously Teoscar Hernandez already got 14 RBIs, which
I know, and he was a free agent. My Red Sox or anyone could have signed. He was just there for the taking. I mean, of course, I don't even want to talk about Mookie Betts because Mookie Betts is living up to your reputation as probably the best player in baseball.
Mookie's 5 home runs. Mookie's batting 447. So,
yeah. I mean, he has the most home runs. He's up there in the RBI. His OPS is number 1. He's just, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. He's up there and all of that, man. He has the most hits, the most homers up there. I think he's not number 1 in RBI, but I think he's like number 2 or 3. Yeah, he's number 2, tied for second in RBI. So it's just crazy, man. And then you add up, he does have a stolen base. So it's insane, man. Whatever. I get grumpy when I talk about Mookie Betts, but because I'm proud. He's a good guy. He's a good player, good face of baseball, but man, he should be running the Red Sox.
Fun fact, it's 1-2 is Teoscar Hernandez with 14 RBIs, Mookie Betts with 11.
Yeah, and they're 1 and 2 in home runs too. So,
and he leads the MLB in hits.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
But your guy Jared Duran has tied for the most stolen bases, 6.
Yeah, no, he's up there, and he gets to play tonight, so hopefully he's been pretty hot up there, man. So far, like I said, the Red Sox are doing okay. Tyler O'Neill for the Red Sox. I forgot I was going to give. Sorry, I'm going back to my Red Sox. Tyler O'Neill, he's done. He's hit a couple bombs for us, and his OPS is up there. So he's having a pretty good quiet under the start of the season. So I appreciate that too. So anyway, that's it. No more Red Sox. I promise. I forgot to mention. I forgot to give him kudos earlier when we were doing all this. Real quick.
7-3 strong. MLB power rankings got him number 1. Got my Yankees too. I don't really want to, toot my own horn, but
Yeah.
D-backs are right there, always competitive. You got the Friars, San Diego Padres 4 and 5, Giants. I don't know if we've seen Snell yet. Have we?
No, I think he's doing some minor league stuff or
Just getting some
whatever.
work in.
Like extended spring trainings. We
Yeah,
got a like from Facebook. Thank you, guy over there on Facebook, for nailing that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah. So and real quick, as we're on some of the stat cat stuff. I like exit velocity. So the highest one so far this year is 116.7, and that's Fernando Tatis Jr. And number 2 is Otani at 115.8, and then Suzuki of the Cubs has a 115. So we got some guys hitting the ball really, really, really hard. Bobby Witt is the number 1 in the average. His average exit velocity so far this year is 101.5 and that's it. So he's really hitting the ball hard, man. So some of those balls are going to start finding spots for sure. So when you're hitting the ball that hard on a regular basis.
Definitely.
Arizona, I don't know how they got it, but they're up on the Braves 3-0. So
that's
the
Braves.
saw the one home run.
Wade Miley, not Wade Miley. What's his name? What's the Reds guy? The Brewers pitcher. His name is so. I'm angry now. I'm messing his name up. Was it?
Oh, that's fine, man. That happens.
Why am I? Is Max Fried terrible first start for the Braves, which obviously was a big piece of that World Series, and it was supposed to be a big piece of that rotation, but he did not have a good first start. He's got.
Oh, what did Cespedes do for you guys today? Did he get any hits? Cespedes? However you say it, Cespedes, whatever, on the Yankees, man. Oh my God, I can't.
Cespedes.
I'm screwing up his name. Let me go. Hold on. I wanted to see, because some women are saying play the over on the hits. Oh my God, what's his name? Oh my God, no, Torres. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was
Torres.
1 for 4.
All right, I'm happy I didn't listen to her. She was so sure. She goes, oh, play the over for him. She was on. So she was, and I didn't. And if I did, I would be for like a couple of dollars, so I wouldn't be mad anyway. But
right. Baseball. I'm not a baseball gambling. I feel I'll play maybe a little like college football if I'm in a state that was legal. Obviously, it wasn't legal in the state of Florida
until recently, and only through Hard Rock. But hey, it's a little bit. Hey, Mr. Courtright, he's a regular in my show, and for all Dolphins. Hey, if you can do me a favor, I know you're not a big baseball guy, but if you can nail those thumbs up, I would appreciate it. It helps the show, Mr. Courtright. It helps Raphael. I appreciate it a lot. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Started on the Miami Dolphins. I got guys bombarding me with Dolphins stuff on a baseball podcast. I'm gonna have to just lose my mind here, Rob.
I know. Hey, but you're working with a Dolphin fan / Red Sox fan. Thank you, Mr. Raphael. He did. He's going to nail that thumbs up for us.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I know. When we started our college football podcast, I don't know if Bobby Justin, the guy who's our host, we're talking and he's listening back, brings up the Jets, and Bobby's like, I got a Jets fan on my network.
Yeah, I know, it's funny. Yeah, Raphael, he's a Jet fan. Russ, whatever you want to call him, he's a Jet fan there. So it is what it is.
I mean, it's like, I know I'm on adult. All you guys are adult, but it's good. It gives you a little diversity and everything. But we're here to talk baseball, not football.
Yeah, exactly. And so far, it's been a great start to the year, man. I mean,
Great start to the
I'm a
year. Baseball's in the air, so you can't complain about
yeah,
that.
I just
Obviously,
wish that the Red Sox didn't have to. I mean, at least tomorrow I don't have to wake up as early. Man, they don't even start to 9:40, man. And then tomorrow on a Saturday, they can't play an afternoon game. No, they have to play another late game. Finally, Sunday, of course, because they play a decent time game. But I mean, goodness gracious! And then we get the big. I don't know if Jeff is still in here from the Back It Up Ben podcast, and it's like, you're welcome, Red Sox. You get to play 10 games on the road, and then you start against a team that ran away with the division last year when you finally get home and take on the Orioles. I'm like, oh, thank you, MLB. Like that's our welcome home playing the freaking Orioles. Hopefully, though, because on the opening day, the Red Sox are going to be saluting the 2004 championship team, the 20-year anniversary. They're going to honor the late, great Tim Wakefield and his wife, who did so much greatness for the community. So hopefully, maybe that little bit of magic, they can just be fired up and they can at least get one against the Orioles. I don't know. This is going to be the real litmus test for them. See how they do against the Angels. Of course, I'm putting the horse before or whatever, the cart before the horse, whatever the saying is. And then, but we still got 3 against the Angels. But man, we come home after a long 10-game road trip, and then the next thing you know, we're starting against the Orioles, man.
yeah, it's a tough one. I'm glad I was looking the same thing. I'm like, why we got to start against the Astros all the time? But I guess it didn't really matter this year.
Yeah. No. I know. No, hey, yeah, you guys swept them.
This is my dream. My dream is the Yankees get rid of Giancarlo Stanton, who I've wanted to get rid of for since year one. I didn't like it. I need Soto and right. I need Dominguez in center, Spencer Jones of the future, and then DH. Please, would somebody take Giancarlo Stanton off my hands?
Well, you guys would have to pay the majority of the contract probably, but it's just like I just don't see it happening.
But I mean, obviously, it's a good start. Obviously, we're all waiting. Garrett Cole can come back. They're saying like June 1st, maybe. So hopefully that I'm super happy if he's back June 1st. But yeah, baseball's in the air. It's looking great.
You know what's funny though? It's real quick on 2 sports again. It says I just thought about it. Yes, but you're right. Baseball's in the air. It's great. The crack of the bat, the sound of the ball hitting the leather, always a good popping sound. Love it. But I was just thinking, man, because my 2 most hated teams, if they told me what's your 2 most hated teams in all sports, it's the Jets and the Yankees. And you like both of them. So it's so funny that you just happen to be like, it's crazy because everyone always
Rob, I feel the exact same way. So I mean,
because it's so funny because people say, "Oh, when did you hate the Bills more, or when did you hate the Patriots because they've been winning so?" No, I've just always hated the Jets as a kid. That was the team I grew.
The Patriots are up there. Bills will be the one team I don't root against for in the AFC East because they know the New York Jets struggle. I hate the Dolphins, so I can't stand the Dolphins. So it is kind of funny, and obviously the Red Sox thing, I can't. It's as years have gone on, the rivalry is not the same. Where I got my Jeter and David Ortiz and guys like that, it just doesn't have the same anymore. And that's
now. Yeah, and now with the balanced schedule, there's even going to be less division rival like face up. But I mean, it's still like you say, it's still good stuff. But I mean, to me, that's always a great rivalry, just like the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Giants and the Dodgers. But to me, it's like Yankees, Red Sox always have a little special meaning. But yeah, it's not the intense one. But I think that's just from players' mentalities changed over the years because these guys used to really, it wasn't like WWE just for sure. They really didn't like each other. I listened to an interview with Jim Rice and said, no, we really didn't like them. And it was like, it was like serious. They go, it was like all season, but when it was Yankee time, mood changed around the clubhouse.
And this, I mean, I know you're not a basketball guy, but it's a Boston sports thing. Is Kevin Garnett, obviously, going to be a Hall of Famer, great basketball player. He comes out and he goes, all these guys are friends with each other now. He's like, hey, you can be friends with them. That's fine. But when we're playing, I want to rip your head off.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm not. We're playing on baseball. I'm playing a 3-game series. I'm not gonna be friendly. F you. I want
Yeah,
to
no,
beat
I
you,
know that's the mentality I like, man.
right?
But nowadays it's all like a
And
fraternity
everybody's
almost.
buddy. I'm like, no, I want to. Good job. Be friends with them in the off season. During the year, I want to beat you.
Yep. No, that's it. And I'm sure they still do, but they don't have that harsh mentality because even like sometimes you see them doing jersey exchanges after a loss. If I had just a loss, I'm sorry, you're not getting my jersey, man. I'm a horrible
Well,
sport.
yeah, as we know, Brady would never do that.
Oh, I know. That's what I said. That's like old. Can you imagine like Dan Marino doing a after losing a disheartening game and oh yeah, you can have my jersey. I'll be hell to the no. So but anyway, back to our baseball. It
Yeah,
is I
well,
think it's off to a fun start. I'm enjoying it. The Dodgers are being the team so far that we all thought they could hit a block, of course, and go off a little bit, but they're the hot team we all thought they were going to be. And they got two of the home run leaders, and it's they're the team so far that they're cracked up to be. And
yeah. I mean,
we'll see, man. It's a lot of fun. We'll
what
see. Hopefully next time, even though I'm not a Marlins fan, I hope they at least have a couple wins by time we
I was
talk.
hoping to get Bobby in here. Maybe Bobby.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping for Bobby too, man. I really thought we would get him in here tonight, but it's okay. Next week maybe because next week you say you're not going to be here, or is that a couple weeks?
No, I'm here the week after. I got my sister's wedding in
Okay.
Cancun, so I'll be first time in Cancun, so it'll be fun. And it's
Yeah.
only an hour. It's an hour flight, which is another unbelievable thing because I'm here on the East Coast.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man.
But
So
yeah, so no, I do not. I fantasy baseball for me, I do not play. I think that's more of a job.
oh, there's the back. I was wondering if he was still in here. Thank you for still sticking with us, Jeff. That yeah, I don't play fantasy. But I don't even believe it or not, I don't even do fantasy football. So, and that's like I'm probably one of the few people on the planet left. But the reason I don't do it is because I'm just like that guy that I'm just too much of a Dolphin fan, and I couldn't play a guy and root for him to do well against the
I
Dolphins.
can't. I
Too
can't
much of a
stand Will.
competitor to sit him against the Dolphins if I think he's a good matchup. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to play fantasy football. This way, there's no conflict. So I'm one of the last
I
bastions of.
100%. I do it just because my friends are in California, so I get to talk to them a little bit. And but
I
I
did
100%.
fantasy baseball many moons
I
ago.
can't do it. I sit people against playing against because I can't be like, hey, my team's playing, but I need a touchdown from this guy. I'm like, no.
So let's see.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has a trait. Yeah, go ahead and ask. Even though we don't do fantasy baseball, maybe Russ will be able to tell you whether or not.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Send it in. I'll do my best.
Yeah, I know
I
that'd be cool. But
we'll, we'll
I know
get
because
it in.
I was hoping Russ was still in here when I was asking him something. Now I already forgot when I asked him what he was here for. But
I
here,
don't. This is just what if that was a real life trade, I'd take it in a heartbeat. I don't know fantasy baseball enough to give you a credible answer. In my opinion, I love both Corbin Carroll and Burns, but I don't know fantasy baseball. I don't. So I can't. I'm sorry. Back it up, Pins podcast.
yeah, but I know. I mean, that would be a go. I mean, I know you. Corbin Carroll's one of your favorite players. You say so.
Yeah, but I don't really know how the fantasy works. But Rob,
If it's just based on the players, without knowing how fantasy baseball you would do it.
I would just on the player, but I know that a bunch of stats get involved. But Rob, this is always a joy. I always
Yeah.
love doing this every Friday. Always smash that like button, share, subscribe. This is On Deck. I'm Russ Morgan here with Rob Mosley.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you for joining as always. Make sure you nail those thumbs up on the way out. Thank you.